Hello, everyone. I just actually got settled in a little bit here and decided to go ahead and upload a new video. First of all, I just want to say, each day we seem to be having more and more frustrations out there. But what we have to realize is God's in control. God is on this earth. God is doing what he needs to do right now. And unfortunately, sometimes that's where faith and trust comes in. To have that faith, to know that God's in control, that the Lord is with us, and that we're going to be protected through all these difficult times. It becomes very difficult. Sometimes you're testing yourself sometimes and what you believe and what you don't believe. And these are the times when the devil wants to deceive us. He wants to take us away from Christ. He wants to take us away and make us believe that God is not in control. He wants us to feel that failure. That there's nothing there. But if the devil's real, God's real. If God's real, the devil's real. There's no other way to look at it. We know the election's getting ready to come up. We know there's a lot of hatred going on right now. You got as what you're hearing on the news right now, CNN and a few other news broadcasts that with the rallies going on. You're hearing them call former President Barack Obama. They're calling him President Obama. Is he president? Is he not? It doesn't really matter. All we know is, don't go off the news. Don't go off of what you feel that because someone else is leading you. You have to go off your own beliefs and you have to go off your own thoughts. Look at the world. Look what's going on. Look what's going on with the government, and look what's going on around you. If you're not a praying person, then I would say at least take a moment to sit down and pray, to get what is best. Don't let people deceive you. Don't let people coach you into voting one way or another. At this point, if we continue on the way we're going, it's going to be a downhill spiral. How many times have you heard people come against China and Russia? If you don't like either one of those places, well, if we continue on the pathway we're going, that's what's going to happen. We're gonna be this country that's going to be defunded. I mean, they're taking away the law, they're taking away our rights, and it's happening more and more people. But again, the positive side of it is I have the faith and belief that I'm going to be taken care of. I don't worry about what the government's doing. I don't worry about what people's doing. I'm just worried about myself and leading people to the truth of who Jesus Christ is. And right now, the Lord's been sharing with me a lot of different things. A lot of different things on. You look at all the fundings and stuff that's taking place right now. They're funding people that's coming over from different countries and funding them to be transgenders and stuff. This is turning into like worse than Sodom and Gomorrah. I just don't understand where we stand as United States anymore, because we're not standing. We're starting to fall. But you know, it's a sad time right now. The Bible clearly speaks in Revelation that the children will come against their parents, daughter-in-laws against mother-in-laws, mother-in-laws against daughter-in-laws, sons against their dads. I mean, it's happening. It's happening all over. And I came to a big conclusion a while back that, and it was kind of weird because I just pretty much seen myself walking away from a grave, and I had a shovel in my hand, and I was walking, and I heard the Lord speak to me, turn around and look, and I looked back, and it was a lot of people per se, that and things in my life that I per se buried in that grave, and turned around and walked away. It's I don't have time for it anymore. Falsely accusing and people bickering all the time and arguing and pointing the finger, and it's sickening. It's there's so many people that try to get the upper hand, but what are you gaining? I mean, what do you gain out of bringing misery to somebody else? It's only a split second. Excuse me. Social media is so full of people boastful and bragging. You look up the word boastful. It's disgusting. I mean, it really is, to see so many people, the things that they post on here, and a lot of it ain't even half of the truth. You know, you have to stay away from that boastfulness. You have to stay away from that pridefulness. Sorry about that. You really have to start examining yourself. I'm telling you, people, this is the time to examine yourselves. This is the time to make yourself right. Is your life going so great? Are you having difficulties in life? Are you struggling? Are you going through difficult times? Because if you are, why? I've gone through so many things in life, and I've seen so many different equations in life, and things that I used to question all the time. God, if you're real, why? Why? Well, first of all, I wasn't following a godly life. So eventually I'm going to do that teaching on using God as an ATM. Part of it is basically this. I'll give you a little piece of it real quick. If you go to work and your checks are being deposited into a bank, then there's money there because you keep track of how much money you have in the bank. But if you don't go to work, then there's no money being deposited. So if there's no money being deposited, then there's no way you can go use your ATM card. The same thing with God. If you're not giving God any time, you're not spending any time with the Lord, and you're not going into prayer, and you're not trying to read the Bible and doing what the Bible directs us. There isn't one thing in the Bible that's not going to get you through everyday life. There isn't no way you're not going to tell me there's not an answer in that Bible, because there is. And honestly, people, don't believe me, but I'm telling you that I walked a hard life, and I've seen it. I've been down them bad roads, and I suffered through a lot of things that I shouldn't, or I didn't have to. I wouldn't trade anything back then, what I had back then, and not even be able to bring certain people back into my life. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it for what I have today. And I wouldn't do it for the peace and the joy that I have today. And unfortunately, this last couple of years, I kind of let people rob that from me. And it's my own fault. I'm not blaming them. I'm blaming myself. The Lord spoke to me one time not too long ago. You're going into a new place. Keep it clean. It's your responsibility. Not so much like tidiness clean, but with the people that's coming in and out. Don't defile the Father's house. Keep it holy. And the hardest part was when he told me. He said, "Are you when are you going to give me 100%? When are you going to give me 100% of your life?" And that stopped me in my tracks. I'm like, I thought it was. But if you're holding on to anything, if you're holding on to something that you think you can heal in yourself, you're wrong. If you're holding on to grudge, you're just bitter for yourself. If you're holding on to things that you thought that you were capable of understanding because you didn't know the truth, but you wanted to just be rid of something, then and you exaggerate it a little bit, then that's your problem. You're going to have to reap whatever comes with that harvest. Every day, God says for a man to get up and plow the field. Well, Okay, and a woman has a place to do what she needs. I'm not saying, because I've heard so many people go, yeah, a woman's place is in the household. Well, maybe it should be. Maybe it shouldn't be. I don't know. But all I'm saying is whatever works for your family. But don't put one spouse over another spouse because one makes more money than the other. It's one household. It's one union. If it's one union under God and one union under the household, then let me tell you what, then both of you should be agreeing it's not even your money. You know, so you can go with however you want to. I'm very thankful for the money that the Lord gives to myself and my wife. I'm very grateful for that our bills are paid. I don't worry month to month to month that bills are going to be paid. I don't even worry about how much money's in the bank. I don't even check it. I don't even care to know. I know the person that's at that house that waits, for my return is, if she, many times she could have got away with taking thousands of dollars and I would have never known. But she's honest and she's truthful. So, you know, it something happens, it's all hers anyways. I don't, whatever she does with it, keeps it, gets rid of it. I tell her all the time, don't hold on to clothing, don't hold on to this stuff. Just bag it up, take it down, and get rid of it. Sell it. I don't care what you do with it. There's no need because I'm not there no more. Don't hold on to a shirt. Don't hold on to cologne. Don't hold on to something because of a smell. That smell has nothing to do with who I was. Be joyful. I thank God each day that I've had, and I thank God for today. And I thank God if tomorrow comes, I'm going to thank Him for tomorrow. I still have a reason and a purpose here. I don't quite know what it is anymore. Maybe it's to do these videos. Maybe it's to make myself even more right. I don't know. Lately, for the last few days, I've been questioning things and questioning who I am as a person. And, and asking God to continue to prune, asking God for His correction, asking God for His discipline, asking God for if there's anything that I need to be forgiving of, to bring it forth. And I'm thankful, for Jesus going to the grave. I'm thankful that He went to that mighty cross and He defeated it. I'm grateful that He defeated hell, and I'm grateful that He overcome everything to give us salvation. Because without Him, we couldn't do it, people. There's no way that we could ever make it into heaven. Nor is there any way that you would even give up one of your kids to sacrifice themselves for the world. Try it. But, unless you're just an evil person. I mean, that's the only way I can think of it. I mean, I don't hold any grudges against any of the kids, but I still couldn't, per se, put them on a cross. I just couldn't do it. I would assume do it myself. But, but that's just being a parent, I guess. It's difficult at times, though. It's because we become judgmental, don't we? We love to judge. We love to crucify people with our tongues. And got to be careful. You really got to be careful, and these times are showing it. But I just want to touch base on a few things. Again, I've on the last couple of videos, food shortages. People, we're going to start seeing it. If God allows this to go on and these Democrats and stuff stays in there, you better be ready for food shortages. You better be ready for more control. You better be ready for, if you got solar panel power. That's going to be another way they're going to control you. You're going to start seeing a big drastic change. They're talking about shutting diesel down. You know why they're doing this. They're doing this so they can shut down the flow of food. It's another way of control. If they shut down the diesel, but yet we're pumping thousands of barrels over to other seas and selling it off, and Putin's over here with the Keystone Line. It's at, from what I understand, it's at 90% now. When Trump shut it down, it was at 75. So how do we go from 75 to 90? You realize if he puts that into effect and it gets finished, can't think of. I think it's Europe. No, not Europe. Europe is actually the one that's going to suffer even worse. Um, anyways, it'll come to me. But the only reason why Ukraine isn't wiped out yet because Putin still needs that source over there opened. Once he gets that pipeline done, he don't need Ukraine. He'll wipe it out. He'll shut it down. See, Putin shuts down so much flow as it is now. What do you think he's going to do if he gets mad any other time? People, you really got to think about this stuff. And this is the stuff that's going on. Thousands of people's coming over, which I'm all for people coming over here because let's face it, we are so selfish, we are so greedy, we are so prideful. This job is, beneath me, but it's okay to go out there and spread drugs all over the streets. It's okay to harm people, rob people. It's okay to do those things. Then you wonder why the people are coming over here that's living over there, that's being beaten, that has to wait in line for food sources and stuff, that's coming over here joyful and cheerful to do the jobs that we should all be doing. But you know what? We have so much technology. We have so much, and we waste so much. All the waste that we waste, them people are digging through trashes and stuff over there. I'm talking landfills of trash. Somebody once told me that a lot of our trash are being boated over there and dumped. So they're digging through our trash for food, clothing, whatever they can find. It's kind of sickening, isn't it? Kind of like some of these stores that people need to go into these secondhand stores and people are donating, clothing and personal items and stuff, furniture, beds, whatever it may be, and these stores are charging a fortune. I get, don't get me wrong. I ran businesses and I ran businesses for other companies. And I understand budgets. I understand electricity and labor hours and all that stuff. I totally understand it. But what I don't understand is where do you come up with these prices for some of this stuff? People are going to a secondhand store because they can't afford to go to a regular store. Well, you go in there and some of them prices are the same as going to a regular store. And it's unbelievable. It truly is. I mean, you just sit and go, where does this cycle end? Well, I pray daily for the return of Christ these days, because this is not where I belong anymore. I don't belong to this earth. I don't belong here. I don't want to be here anymore. There's days that I feel things in my body that I just can't explain, and I don't talk about it. I don't, whatever God has in store, then let it be. But I don't let it stop me. I live each day and I cherish the day as it goes on. Would I want different things in my life? Probably. I want to spend more time at home with my wife. I'd like to, try to do something different. But this is where God has me, and I accept it. He knows better than I do. Unfortunately, sometimes he pulls me from jobs and puts me in different places. I shouldn't say unfortunately because it's his will, and that's what I'm here to do. I don't care what people think about how many jobs I've had, or but people don't focus on some of the jobs that I spent 10 to 12 years at. I spent 6 years at another place. They don't focus on that. They don't focus on how long I ran a landscaping business of my own. They don't concentrate on those things. They just want to find something to put it out there. A while back, I was reading a post, and the person was going on and on about the inspiration of people in their lives and stuff, and and I was tagged in it. So I just, so once you're tagged, I guess your name appears and stuff. So I was reading this post, and it's kind of hurtful. I will say that because it's like, not that I want recognition or anything for it, but to see people that these people are mentioning, and you see these type of names and stuff, and you're going, wow, I don't remember them being here through this situation, this situation, but that's fine and dandy. It's like, you know, I'm glad that their lives are so regrouped, per se, and they can go ahead and live life. That's awesome. It comes down to people. You really see how people see you. I always wanted to go on social media and just post and see how many people would be true. I think I'm going to do it just to see it. Put an obituary, per se, of yourself, and see how many people are truthful. See how many people would what they really say about you, because you'd be able to tell. You of all people would be able to tell if it's fake or real, because how do they treat you now? And if it's any different from what they're saying, then somewhere down the line, something's a lie, because you don't treat somebody terrible and then speak kind words about them. I guess it'll just show your credibility of the people that's in your life. I guess that's the best way to do it. And why do I speak of these things? Because you look at it as, do you love these people, the same people? Do you love them? Do you pray for them? Do you claim to love your family, but yet you won't share the best gift in the world? There's holidays coming up, and families get together, and I'm actually looking forward to Thanksgiving, and it's going to be Darlene and myself, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay. It's I just love spending time with her. It's like a different. It's a different way of looking at life now, I guess. I'm excited about. I'm gonna hopefully talk her into putting the tree up a little bit early. It's that little kid of you that comes back out, that you just want to put the tree up and put the stockings up. That was always the big thing when watching the stockings go up. It even still kind of makes me light up today. It's I don't know. It's just something about the stockings that gives me joy. It's and trust me, people. I know it's not about gifts and stuff like that. The true gift is Jesus Christ. He was born. We celebrate December, but he was born poor, and he sacrificed a lot for us. And some days I feel ashamed. I feel ashamed because I don't give him a lot. I don't get that communication, and I know when those days are, because I can see my day going upside down, and I got to regroup, and I can see my attitude changing, and I can see a lot of things and frustrations, and I got to watch that. I don't want to slip back into the world's ways, but and I'm not on here just bashing everything about the elections coming up and all I'm just trying to give you a heads up. Prayer. We need prayer right now. We have to pray. We have to really dig deep into prayer, and start asking God to expose things in your life. If you're not a praying type of person, then I tell people all the time, comment down on here with any prayer requests or anything, and I'll pray for you too. There's no wrong way to pray. Just start talking to God, and start talking to Jesus the way you talk to anybody else, The way I'm talking to this camera is exactly how you can talk to Jesus, and that's exactly how I talk to him. There's nothing. There's not. Even if I'm mad, I'll just scream. I don't care. God doesn't care. Jesus doesn't care, because they'd rather you be mad and come to them mad than not talk to them at all, because that's a start. Even if you're frustrated, it's still a start. You know, a relationship starts in different ways, and Jesus don't expect you to be complete. He doesn't expect you to be clean. He's here to take those chains off you. He's here to heal you, and he's here to clean you. You just gotta let him. You gotta be willing and accept what's coming. So, you know, we're hearing a lot about these robots. We're hearing a lot about aliens, and let me tell you, when Christ comes back for His people, you're going to see you're going to see airplanes fall from the sky. You're going to see semis crashing. You're going to see cars wrecking. You're going to see total chaos, people. Garbage trucks wrecking. You name it, you're going to see it. And they're just going to tell you it's aliens, it's this, and one of the kids that her thing is this conspiracy stuff and all this, but yet she believes in aliens. I mean, it blows my mind. You don't want to hear that 9/11 was a joke, and it was put on by United States, and then anybody that says wrong and says it's different, well, it's wrong, and there's plenty of proof. Because you don't want to believe that the United States is capable. Well, have you looked out the window lately? Have you been to your stores lately? Have you seen the rising in prices of food and fuel? And when we're shutting off things and we're selling diesel and we're selling oil and we're selling things overseas, and we're in the Biden administration's making these deals with Putin. Have you seen electric cars, how much they cost? Do you know how much it costs us to charge these things? Do you see the robots that are being built? They're walking now. They're actually doing human jobs. They're actually making flesh-like skin to put on these robots. You don't believe me, people? Look it up. It's out there. They can't hide everything forever. And then if you really want it, just go to prayer. Just go to prayer. Ask God to reveal it to you. I'm not going to sit on here and tell you a bunch of stuff. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to help you. I want you to go to heaven. That's the only thing that I could leave this world with. It's not about me. It's not the legacy that I want to leave behind is a legacy of what Christ did for me, and how much He loved me, and how much He changed me, and how much He corrected me, and how much that He poured out his blessings over me when I don't even deserve it. I don't know. It's a sad time right now, and like last night where I was at, the tornado sirens going off. And the trucks were rocking back and forth. I mean, it started raining, started hailing, and I remember hearing the alert go off on my phone. And I just started falling asleep too, and it was 11 o'clock Central Time, so it would have been 12 o'clock Eastern Time, which is Ohio, Pennsylvania, anything going down into Florida, all the way up into the Northeast, Jersey, and all that. And honestly, I didn't even care. I just laid there and I just prayed, Lord, please, if there's anything in me that I've done today or didn't please you in any way, if I said anything wrong to anybody, please forgive me of it. And if tonight is the night that something happens, then, bring peace to those who, that if I have done anything wrong to, or bring peace to the ones that will mourn. At this rate, you don't know, and it's not about even of that. But that was my thought. And for a split moment, I thought about what size tornado is it? Did it touch ground or did it pick up stuff in the air? You know, because it's that fallout of things that you got to watch out for. And let's face it, you know, these semis aren't built out of sheets of steel here, people. It's just flimsy. Is I mean, some cars are built better than some of these semis, and you know, it wouldn't take much to crush these things. But I don't worry about it. You know, I don't worry. I don't. You know, I do everything to protect my wife and to make sure things are prepared, and you know, and that's all I can do. You know, and the rest I got to put in Jesus's hands, and I know that if I go before her with her faith and her trust, that she'll be taken care of. I don't know how he'll do it, but it's not up to me to understand how. I just walk in that peace and that joy and that love that he will. If she goes before me, it's the same concept. You know, yeah, I'm thankful for the days that I've had with her. I'm thankful for today. I'm thankful for the times I get to speak with her on the phone. I had to ask her the other day, do you think I'm overprotective over you? Do you think I like babysit you or something? I guess I don't know how else to put it. Like, and she said no, you know, because she goes walking on the towpaths and stuff, and I just like to know which direction she goes in, and when she's there, and when she's back to the car, and that's only because I don't trust Lucifer. I don't trust what he's going to do. Things happen to godly people too, you know, and it's not God's fault. It's the devil's world. You can't blame God for whatever happens out there. Can God stop it? Yes, he can. But God isn't going to break his promises, not even to Lucifer. You know, it's Lucifer's world. It's been his world. Wake up and look outside. You know, everybody talks about all these horror movies. I mean, how can you ask God to bless your lives and stuff and you're watching such filth? I mean, and you believe in this stuff, and in the music you listen to. You know, people, I used to work out to Metallica, Iron Maiden, AC/DC. So don't, trust me, I was there. I started listening to the words. Highway to Hell? I am on the highway to hell? Excuse me. I don't want no part of that no more. I don't want to be on the highway to hell. I want to be on the highway to heaven. That was a good show. Michael Landon and that other guy, I forget his name. He played Mark in there. He had the beard. Um, I don't know why it just made me think probably because Highway to Heaven. I don't know, but I don't know. I'm just kind of in a smiley mood tonight. I guess I don't really smile a whole lot. It's not that I'm not a happy person. I just um, I actually got a nap. I just woke up from a nap. I'm at a hotel, so it as you can see, I don't know if you can see it or not, but yeah, two beds. You know, I could bounce from one bed to the next like a little kid. I don't know if I could even really do that much anymore, but it's kind of fun just thinking about stuff, isn't it? You know, and you know, and that's where Christ says to be like a kid, like. You know, I don't care what people think. You know, I used to. I used to think I had this reputation. You know, and I was like, and then you start thinking about it, going, well, reputation. I mean, who am I? I mean, ooh, I got a reputation to protect. Oh, from what? I guess you build yourself up to be bigger than what you are. I guess I don't know, but I don't know. You know, you know, I drive down the road and I see the water getting thinner and thinner. The Mississippi River. Oh my gosh! I mean, people look. There's a mountain that exposed that come through there. The people's going to see this thing and kind of walking on. But I want you to, if you pull this picture up, I want you to really look at how tall this thing is and how wide this thing is. This was underwater now, people. Underwater. Where in the world is all this water going? I don't know, but we're starting to hear of, if it hasn't come, but we're going to hear it. We're going to hear about these shark attacks. And you can't blame the sharks because the water's disappearing. The water's disappearing. The sharks are. That means they're coming. They're. It's not that they're coming closer. The water is bringing this stuff closer. We're actually coming closer to them and not them to us. So you got to be cautious going into waters, especially during hurricanes and stuff like that, because these waters are overflowing and it's pushing sharks and crocodiles and stuff into places where there normally shouldn't be. So just be careful, be mindful, because it's a mechanism in that animal to survive. So they're used to preying on whatever that's in the water. You're in their territory. You're in their homeland per se. They don't walk on shores. The last time alligators, crocodiles, but I'm saying like a shark. They don't walk on shores and come walking into your bathtub and go, well, hey, it's water. I want to be in there and I'm going to eat you. You look very appetizing today. It's not a buffet to them, people. They're just it is what it is right now, and but there's a reason. I believe God's examining these churches right now. I believe He's flipping these churches upside down and exposing these fake pastors and these fake people that go in there and they're very judgmental. And I believe Revelation speaks of these very things, and I believe this is what we're seeing right now. And it's time. It's time to get right. It's time to really examine your household. Do you realize listening to one song can actually bring a demon attachment? Do you realize watching a movie can actually open up portals and attachments to you? Because it'll lead you into another place. It'll lead you into another place and another place. And I know what I'm talking about, people, because I've been in seances. I've watched sacrifice of animals. I've watched people drink blood. I've seen some wicked, crazy things over the times, and it's nothing to play around with. People that are playing around with these tarot cards and Ouija boards and chanting things and looking up spells and you better be careful what you're doing, because if you first of all you open it, you have to close it, and if you are not powerful enough to do it, the devil's going to get you, and he's going to get you quick. And look how many people that are starting to pass away that doesn't stand a chance. I've been struggling with part of my testimony. I actually want to take a part of it out and just do a video just on it. And it was about the time that I committed suicide. And I've had a few other attempts afterwards, but it didn't actually take my life per se. But I did die, and the things that I sing was incredible. And I believe that now's the time to really truly share all the details of what I went through, and it's hard. It really, and not going through it because and I'm not cocky about this, but I don't fear death. I don't fear what man can do to me, as far as that wise it goes. But I do fear the Father, because I know if I displease Him, and I know that if I'm not doing what He expects out of me each day, then I stand a chance of going to hell, and I stand a big chance of remaining here at the end times and going through the torture and the chaos. Hey, people, I tell you what, if you want to get a good taste of what it's going to be like, why don't you drive to a landfill and go have a seat in the middle there and take yourself a picnic lunch there? You tell me I'm crazy. Well, that's what you're going to see, because there's not going to be so much cleanliness going on. Go up to Michigan and look what they're doing there. Look at these riots that's going on around the world. You're not going to be safe. Don't think you're going to be safe. Don't think members of your household that's there is not going to be raped, not going to be beaten, not going to be robbed or shot or something. But again, it's coming. Trust me on this. It's coming, and it's not going to be pleasant. We've all seen movies about the end times. We all have seen videos of things. People just blow it off like it's nothing. But it's truly going to happen. It's funny how people can believe the movies they watch and they're so excited. If I had to explain what happens in hell, Friday the 13th, how many times did Jason get killed off? How many times Michael Myers get killed off? Freddy Krueger. I can go down the list. Let me tell you that's what's going to happen to you. You're going to feel every bit of torture, every bit of burning, every bit of all of it. Your nerves because sometimes when your nerves get cut so bad that you don't even really feel it anymore, or they numb you. Well, you're not going to get numbed in hell. You're going to feel every bit of it. You're gonna feel it and over and over and over. And when I mean, if they break your fingers and rip your finger completely loose and rip the skin and everything down, and your fingers coming all the way down here, it'll restore just like that, and they'll do it again. I'm not joking. It's true. It's true. And it's very difficult. It's very difficult to even try to bring it to life enough to make you understand what's going to happen down there. I've seen people that talk bad about people, and I've seen their tongues being pulled with these demons that had their fingertips, their long claws, and they would just stick it right in their tongue and rip their tongue completely out and turn around and shove it right back down inside their throat and reach up inside of their inside their stomach and come up and through there and just pull it down and rip it out through the hole that they jammed up in them, and it's healed back up in seconds. But it happens over and over and over. If you're not big on torture, if you're not big on even a paper cut bothers you for days, or if you stubbed your toe or something, that's going to be a drop in the bucket. I don't know. I never had a kid, but I hear it's very painful. But you got the power of being numb, getting that epidural thing and whatever. You're not going to have the opportunity to get that. You're going to feel every bit of it. And I'm sure a mother would probably, that has to go down there, that will go through that. I'm sure they would probably take the numbing any day of the week. Or they probably take the labor pains before taking what's going to happen down there. I would just say, if I had to take the time that I was burnt, or the time that the battery blew up in my face, or the time that I had to go in there and have them cut me and peel parts of my face down and stuff, I was asleep. There was times that I had to be cut awake. They would cut parts of my face, and I tell you what, I about came off the table. It was painful, and those are sharp knives. I don't know. It's your decision. It's your choice. It's stop being fearful. Stop being fearful of food and what's going on around the world, and start trusting in God, and start putting your faith and trust in Him. And I'm telling you, I'm gonna see how many minutes on there. I'm gonna have to close this one down. I hated God. I really did. I hated God. I couldn't. I didn't want to hear about Him. I didn't want to hear about Jesus. I didn't want to hear about anything. I despised despised it. And look at me today. You know, do I fail at times? Yeah. Do I have bad thoughts some days? Yes. When people start their nonsense, and do I want to, as I say, because the Lord said, a devil will never cast out a devil, and He told me, if you fight the devil with the devil, then who's the devil? You are the devil. And it took me a minute to think about that. It's like I'm supposed to love them. I'm supposed to pray for my enemies. I'm supposed to pray for those who persecute me. And it's hard. It is some days, but I'm not above Jesus, and that's why sometimes when people ask me why I'm so hard about the Catholics, because they believe Mary is above Jesus, and Mary was seen as good because God chose her. That's it. Mary couldn't do anything else but birth Jesus. She wasn't the one healing, as my wife said a while back. And why did Mary have to go ask Jesus to do something? And Jesus responded, "Woman, woman, you know not what you ask me. It's yet not my time." And she wanted him to make wine at the wedding feast. If that was the case, then why didn't Mary go do it? Why didn't Mary heal the people? Why didn't Mary go to the cross? It kind of sounds a little ridiculous, don't it? But yet they believe they're going to go talk to the father that runs the church, the priest, and ask him to forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. That's not my Father. My Father's in heaven. My Father's here on earth. I had a physical father that brought me. I had a mother and a father. Whether they did what was right or wrong, who am I? Was it hard? Yeah. Trust me, with both of them, it was difficult. I went through crap with both sides of it. But I did the best I could by them, even all the way to the end. I did the best I could. And I'm okay with that. I know in my heart, that I did everything I could. And whether I wanted to or not, I did it out of love for Jesus. And that's what people can't understand. It wasn't for me to stand up there and do I don't even know what it's called when you stand there and talk about someone when they're passed away. Because trust me, I wanted to say a whole lot of different things, especially about my father. I wanted to say a whole lot of things. But I do remember when I first started off, because it was in a church, and I said, I'm not standing up here trying to get anybody to come to Jesus. And I didn't mean it like that. I meant it like because of what I said at the end. I watched my father call out, "There's Jesus. There's Jesus." And he said it twice, at two different times. And he passed away the same day. I don't know. Deep on the cross, repentant, and asked Jesus to remember him. And he says, "For I will remember you." We can look at it as Christian. How many people that followed Christ from the birth all the way up, that never went into the sinful life and maybe did all the things that we have done, and we can look at it and go, well, it's not fair. It's not fair that they get to come to heaven and I did this whole walk myself. Well, look at the prodigal son in the Bible. He took his inheritance, took it off, pissed it all away on whatever that he spent it on, and came back, and his father welcomed him. Gave him a nice coat, and gave him a big feast. There's another verses in there where it goes on that guy goes out and he hires people, and they go out to the field. They're there all day long. He hires other people, and at the end of it, maybe an hour or so left of the day, he hires more people. They go out there and he pays them all the same. The servants are mad. Well, we worked all day. Why do they get the same as us? Well, where is it your your right to even ask? You accepted a job doing what you're doing, then stop complaining. If you get turned down for a promotion that you might have signed up for, then thank God, because maybe you're not ready for it. Maybe He doesn't have that for you. Maybe He doesn't want you in that. Okay. Um, Let me finish this off with prayer, and I got everything in bags and stuff right now because I'm actually switching into different trucks, and actually a different company. The company that I was just at wasn't so great. I'm going back into another place that I used to work for. Um, I'm really excited about it. I should have just stayed there, but then again, God led me out for a little bit, and I'm excited because I'll be able to get back home on weekends and stuff, and you know, be able to do more things at home, and we'll see where it goes. But anyways, our Father, we thank you. Father, we thank you for this day, and we thank you for feeding us, and we thank you for clothing us and protecting us and giving us a roof over our head. We thank you for the cars that we drive, whether it's from what we call back in the day a Shove It, a Yugo, a Volkswagen, whether it just may be a Ford Festiva. It doesn't matter what kind of car we have. It doesn't matter if it's a station wagon, a minivan, what they call the soccer mom's vehicles. It doesn't matter. It's got four wheels and engine, and as long as it blows heat when we need it. And if we don't, our air conditioner back in the day, we rolled down windows. Just be thankful that you're not walking. And I'm thankful that you've given us not one car but two cars. I'm thankful that you've given us a roof over our head. You know that you've given us a fireplace, and I'm very thankful for a family member that had all kinds of wood cut up around her place, and you know, she's given us the wood. Anybody else probably would have charged us for it, but I'm very thankful and blessing, and I ask for blessing over her and her household. I ask for love to be poured out into their, and I ask for their eyes to be opened and their hearing to be heard, and then that things in their lives change, and for them to see the demonic things that are in their lives, and it's not good. It's not good at all. I ask for peace, and I ask for financial blessings over them also. But most of all, I ask for the Father's will to be done in each person that I know, and each acquaintance I come across, family members. I don't really have a lot of friends in these days, so friends or whatever it may be. I ask for the employer that employs me, that they do the right things, and that that employers over my friends and families, where they go to work at. I ask for you, God to be over that and to be over them, but it's a two-way street. I ask for chains to be broken, but Lord, most of all, I know that you were born and you came here as flesh, and I know that you went to that cross, and I know you defeated it. I know you taken a beating that was in the beating you beyond recognition, and I know you still went to the grave and you took all sins into the grave and buried it. I know you defeated hell in that 3 days. It's a powerful 3 days of you going from the cross into the grave and what you did in 3 days. I'd like to be able to sit down with the producer one time and just give my sights exactly on that 3 days of that crucifixion, after the crucifixion, of what truly took place. And I ask for things in their lives to increase, not decrease, but increase. Any idols or anything that's keeping them from you, any pridefulness, any hatefulness in them, I ask that these things be pulled back away from them. And I ask for sight and hearing, Lord, that they hear you and they come with a receiving heart, most of all to receive you. And I ask for a godly mentor and a godly spouse. I ask for chains to be broken, and I ask for them to be able to look back at their lives and to be able to see the sin and to be able to walk away from it once and for all. And it's not too late, and the time's coming. So we just come to this part. Lord, we thank you for feeding us and clothing us. And we thank you for our utilities and our mortgages, our rents, whatever it may be in that case, is paid. We thank you for all of our bills being paid. We thank you again for the blood of you, and we thank you for the blood being over us. Thank you, Lord, for never forsaking us or leaving us. We thank you for changing us and molding and sculpting us in this day. And most of all, Lord, I continue to ask for the prophecy, the wisdom of the things to come. I ask for your leadership over me, Lord, and let me lead accordingly to your plans and purposes, whether I understand it or don't understand it, whether I remember it or don't. Let me be faithful and obedient to you, Lord, as you were to the Father. Lord, continue, Lord, to give me the words, and let these videos be done under your name and your authority, and under the teachings that you want and not of my own. But most of all, Lord, I thank you, and as we come and we all say, in your holy, glorious name, we love you. Amen.